Okay, so it's a pretty simple definition. The first thing I should say is that I made this little surface, right, in Rhino, and I guess we can talk about how to make that a little later, but I'll just go ahead and show you the definition. And what's happening is I captured this B rep. So if I preview this, basically all I did was right click on this and set one B rep and pick that. So it actually, Grasshopper went and grabbed that surface and brought it into Grasshopper. And then I found the centroid of that by getting the area. So if you look, you'll see it kind of finds the centroid of that thing. It's a little high. And so what I did was I came in and moved it. So if we preview this one, I moved it down, right? So if you, it's moving at negative in the Z. So if you move this guy, it'll move it back up. Or if you move it this way, right, it'll move it back down, right? You can see it. So I just kind of cranked it over to 100 because if it's real high, then we get some funny results, but we'll see that in just a second. So basically what happens is I get this point, and then I come and push this B rep into a bounding box. So if you preview the bounding box, it just looks at that B rep and puts a box around it on the edges, right? And then you can use this thing called Populate 3D, and it will just go in and put a random amount of points in that box. It just goes in and you give it a number of points and it just scatters them randomly around in that 3D space. And then here's what happens is we start to define where we're going to divide this thing up and get those lines on the edges of the surface by drawing a line between this center point and all of these other points. So here's the line, and so the start point is going to be this center point, and then the end point is going to be all of these other points. So if I preview this, you're going to see those lines getting drawn out from the center there. And then what happens is we put a plane on it. So we take that line and we create a sort of an infinite plane on those. So if I preview that, if we come in here and zoom in, now it's just basically putting planes on all of those lines. And planes are infinite, right? And so it finds the direction and the normal of that line and puts a plane on it. And then we take that plane and we use it to intersect the B rep. So that's the surface. So let me turn the bounding box off at least. So if I turn the bounding box off, you can still kind of see what's going on. But if I come and turn on the intersect, it's going to take all those planes and intersect them with this B rep. So if I preview that, there's all the intersects. So it's drawing all those lines. So you're getting those sort of random lines like you get in the other one. And if I turn off, of course, kind of all of this stuff, right, and then these guys here, this guy here, right, then you'll just see those intersections. And so if you come and, make more lines, it's going to make, like if you make more points, it's going to move a little slow. It's going to make more lines, right? And so now it's got a whole ton of them. Or if I come in and take it back down to 60, right, it'll take a minute to calculate and do that. If you move where this point is, like if you move it up and down, the higher it gets, the more concentrated the lines are going to be in the center, because the point is going to move up and all of these lines are going to go through there. So you could try that too, like moving this point up and down. But anyway, it gets pretty easy after that. Intersection, so if I hide that, right, then you just take those curves that the intersection makes and pipe them. And so if I preview that, now I've got, pipes on all those curves. And you can, come in here and change this guy to a 2, right? And they'll get bigger, and you're getting either thick pipes or thin pipes, right? And then if I come in and, let's get rid of this guy. And so I turned off the B-rep, but I was like, why is there still this little red thing here? It's because the original surface is on a rhino, so if I turn it off, that layer, then you're kind of getting this guy. The pipes seem a little thick, like maybe a 1 is better, right? But then you kind of see that, so that's what you're getting. You can actually come in, and if you want to just redo it, you can come in, and if I change the seed, right, on this guy, so it's set to 0 right now, but if I come in here and change the seed, it'll just reshuffle those points, right? So that'll give a different, you know, configuration to all the lines, so you can kind of fiddle around with it and see what you want, but it's pretty random. But that's, I think, what you want. All right.